Welcome to the Madison Lord Podcast. Today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap all the college basketball from yesterday, whether it's the first 40, NIT or CIT. We'll look ahead to everything tonight. NBA, NHL, spring training, soccer, golf, left infield position rankings, third base, shortstop, reality TV, Masked Singer Survivor, news and notes, and best bet. We'll begin with the first four. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the two games tonight. So, 16 seeds in the West region. Wagner defeats Howard 71-68. Wagner 17-15. Howard finishes 18-17 as Wagner will be facing North Carolina tomorrow. And then in the Midwest region, 10 seeds. Colorado State over Virginia 67-42. As Colorado State will move on to face Texas. They are 25-10. Virginia finishes 23-11. All right. 6:30 tonight on True TV. We have Grambling and Montana State. My line is Grambling by 4 1/4, total of 140 and 19/20. And it is Montana State by 3.5, total 134.5. Okay. So I think the wrong team is favored. And I'm actually going to take Grambling plus 3.5 and plus 142 to win the game straight up. And then the winner of that game obviously will go on to face Purdue. And then the South region, 10 seeds, Colorado, Boise State. The winner of this game will move on to face the Gators of Florida. My line here is Colorado by 9, total 146 and 7/20. It's 2.5 and 140.5. I'm laying the 2.5. Love it. I just think Colorado is the better team. And it's all due respect to Boise State, who had a really good year. But I think Colorado is built to go on a surprise run. So I'm laying the 2.5 with Colorado. Next, we have the NIT. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. North Texas over LSU, 84-77. BC over Providence, 62-57. Georgia over Xavier, 78-76. Ohio State over Cornell, 88-83. USF over UCF, 83-77. So best bet was a slam dunk. Virginia Tech over Richmond, 74-58. Minnesota over Butler, 73-72. Iowa over Kansas State, 91-82. And Utah over UC Irvine, 84-75. Only 7 games tonight compared to 9 yesterday. First up, 7 o'clock on ESPN2, St. Joe's Seton Hall. From the Prudential Center. My line is Seton Hall by 2.5, total 144.5, and it is 7.5 and 146.5. I'm going to take St. Joe's plus the points. I think Seton Hall's a little upset that they're not playing in the big dance. SMU, Indiana State. Men's Indiana State 6.5, total 150 and 2/5. And it is 6.5 and 157.5. Under. Loyola Chicago Bradley, former conference rivals. Men's Loyola 3/4, so 141. And it's Bradley 4.5 total 138.5. I'll take Loyal Chicago plus the 4.5 and plus 152 to win. 8 o'clock, UNLV Princeton. Mine's Princeton by 11, total 141 and 19/20. And it's 2.5 and 138.5. I'm going to lay to 2.5 with Princeton. Appalachian State, Wake Forest. Mine's App State by 3, total 146 and 19/20. And it's Wake 7.5, total 146.5. Oh, I'm taking Appalachian State plus the 7.5 and plus 245 outright. Love it. 9 o'clock, San Francisco, Cincinnati. Mine's San Francisco 5.5, total 142 and 7/10. And it's 5.5 in favor of Cincinnati, as well as 142.5. I'm taking San Francisco plus the 5.5 and plus 190 to win the game straight up. And then on ESPN2, VCU Villanova. Men's Villanova 2.5 total 131 and 1/10, and it's 6.5 and 130.5. I'll take the over in that one. Okay, CIT. We will go over the few results from yesterday, and then we have a few games tonight. So Tarleton State over Texas Southern 82-71. Abilene Christian over A&M Corpus Christi 73-63. All right, 7 o'clock tonight, Purdue Fort Wayne Bowling Green. Mine's Bowling Green 4 3/4, total 148 and 1/20. And I do not see line for that. Or the other game, Abilene Christian Tarleton State. Mine's Tarleton by 6 to 143.5. So I'm going to say Bowling Green and Tarleton win those respective games. And then Alabama A&M and Austin P at 8 o'clock. My line is Austin P 16.5, total 146 and 7/20. That line is not posted yet either. Austin P should win that game by double digits. Now we'll move on to the NBA. We will go over the results from yesterday, and then tonight is a much larger slate than yesterday. Magic over the Hornets 112-92. Rockets over the Wizards 137-114. Pelicans over the Nets 104-91. Mavericks over the Spurs 113-107. Nuggets over the Timberwolves 115-112. Tonight's slate, 7 o'clock, you have the Heat at the Cavs. Minus the Cavs by 121 and the 20th. And it is 2 and 202.5 over. Pacers Pistons. My line is the Pacers 10 3/4, total 237 and 7/10, and it's 9.5 and 233 over. On ESPN tonight, probably the game of the night in the association, one of the best games of the season, Bucks Celtics. My line Celtics by 8, total 234 and 3/20, and it's 8.5 and 224 over. Kings Raptors. My line is the Kings 12 and 3/4, total 233 and 7/20. It's 10.5 and 232.5. I'll lay the 10.5 with Sacramento on the road. 8 o'clock, Jazz Thunder. Mine's the Thunder 17 and 3/4, so 235 and 4/5. It's 14.5 and 230.5 over. On ESPN at 10 o'clock, Grizzlies Warriors. Mine's the Warriors by 14, total 226 and 7/10, and it's 10 and 218 over. Sixers Suns. Mine's the Suns 10.5, total 229 and 3/10, and it's 9 and 220.5 over. And then Clippers Blazers. My line's the Clippers 11 1/4, total 226 and 3/10, and it's 11.5 and 216. We'll take the over in that one as well. The NHL, we will recap the games from last night and look ahead to a small window for tonight. Bruins over the Sens 6-2. Red Wings over the Jackets 4-3 OT. Devils over the Pens 5-2. Jets over the Rangers 4-2. Flyers over the Leafs 4-3. Canes over the Islanders 4-1. Avs over the Blues 4-3. Preds over the Sharks 8-2. Oilers over the Habs 3-2 in OT. On a game winner by Mr. Connor McDavid. Actually, no, that's a lie. Draisaitl scored the overtime winner. Canucks over the Sabres 3-2. Lightning over the Golden Knights 5-3. Wild over the Ducks 4-0. And the Kings over the Blackhawks 6-2. Only 3 games tonight, 7:30 on TNT. Maple Leafs Capitals. Leafs minus 142. Caps plus 118. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 106. Unders minus 130. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 64. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 200. I think there's a reason it's only plus 118. I'm taking the Capitals. 8 o'clock, Coyotes Stars. Stars minus 275. Coyotes plus 220 over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 108. Stars minus 1.5 is minus 111. Stars puck line. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, TNT. Wild Kings. Kings minus 156. Wild plus 130 over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 192. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 158. This is a hard one. But I would go with the Kings in regulation at minus 105. Spring training. We'll look back on yesterday's games, look at today's spring games, and actually it's technically the season opener in Major League Baseball. So yesterday, Cards over the Marlins 11-10, Red Sox over the Rays 5-2, O's over the Blue Jays 13-8, Brewers over the Guardians 8-5, A's Rangers 7-7 tie, Angels over the Reds 10-6, Guardians Rockies 8-8 tie, Mariners over the Rockies 12-3, Browns Astros 3-3 tie, Phils and Tigers 0-0 tie, Mets over the Cardinals 3-1, D-backs over the Cubs 4-1, and the Giants over the Royals 9-8. The game in South Korea is this morning, which is going to count as a regular season game between the Dodgers and the Padres. It's Tyler Glasnow and Yu Darvish. And the game's being played in Seoul. So that is pretty cool. Dodgers minus 188, Padres plus 158, over under 8.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 113, Padres plus 1.5 is minus 106. Kind of like the under tonight at even money. And in spring training, 1 o'clock, Tigers Twins, Blue Jays Braves, Mets Marlins, 4 o'clock, Cubs A's, Reds White Sox, Rangers Reds, so the Reds have a split squad. Rockies D-backs, Giants Angels, 6 o'clock Phils O's, Cards Nats, 6:30 Pirates Yankees, 9 o'clock Angels Royals. I'll go over the notable soccer results from yesterday, and some of them on Monday too, because I didn't get to them. And we'll look ahead to today. We'll start with Monday a little bit. I believe we did have some. No, we actually didn't. That's a lie. So UEFA Women's League, Chelsea over Ajax 3-0, Lyon over Benfica 2-1. 1:45 today, BK Häcken and PSG. PSG should win that one. And 4 o'clock, SK Brand and Barcelona. Barcelona's going to win that. Let's be real here. U.S. Open Cup. Miami United over Chattanooga 1-0. Vermont over Lexington 4-3. Madison over Duluth 2-0. Savannah over Brave SC 2-0. SG Trementa over CFL Spurs 1-0. Maryland over Westchester 2-0. Northern Colorado over Tulsa 4-1. At the time of recording, Austin 2, Furrow 1 draw. And Portland and El Farolito 0-0 draw. Alright, so Apatheos, Georgia was supposed to be today, and that was canceled. And I checked FanDuel to see if some of these games are posted in terms of odds. Alright, Richmond Christos. Richmond's minus 165. Christos FC plus 350. The draw is 3-1. We're going to go over 3.5 goals plus 128. 7 o'clock, Asheville, Knoxville. Asheville plus 150. Knoxville plus 145. Draw plus 260. We go with Knoxville plus 145. Frenzy CD Lion. I don't see that one. Bontoms, Greenville. Greenville minus 105. Bontoms plus 230, draw plus 260. Going Greenville Triumph at minus 105. 7:30 Red Bulls 2 in Hudson. That's not on there. Chicago 2 in Chicago City at 8 o'clock. Chicago AC and MUFC 2. Oh, Chicago 2, Chicago City. It's under Chicago 2 minus 280. Chicago City's plus 550. Draws plus 390. We'll go over 10 goals at plus 102. Chicago AC and MUFC 2 is not up here. 10 o'clock Folsom Central Valley. That's not up here. 10:30 Ballard and Spokane. Ballard plus 135. Spokane plus 155. Draw plus 260. We'll go with the draw plus 260. LA Force in the Redlands. That's not posted. Irvine Zeta in Mesoamerica. Not posted, but this one is Capo FC in Des Moines. Des Moines minus 100. Capo plus 550. Draw plus 410. We're going to go over 3.5 goals at even money. Like I said, CONCACAF Nations League semifinal is Thursday. We don't have Champions League quarterfinals until April 9th, which is absurd. I'm just quickly gonna check. See if there's anything else we need to touch on before moving on. International friendlies 3-4-5 San Marino and St. Kitts. San Marino plus 140. St. Kitts 2-1. Draws plus 185. We go to San Marino plus 140. 7 o'clock El Salvador and Bonaire. I don't see that one posted. And then 10 o'clock Solomon Islands and Fiji. That one is not posted. And that's really it for the soccer. And the reason why all these leagues are off this week is because it's full of UEFA qualifying, which starts Thursday. We have some friendlies. FIFA World Cup AFC. So we'll have to do that. All those picks on the Thursday show. And then we also have more U.S. Open Cup and very, very busy internationally in soccer the next several days. he will review and make a pick for the next tournament, which is the Valspar Championship. All right, notable tee time, 7:35. Matthew Neesmith, Grayson Higo, Ben Griffin, 7:40. Christian Ziedenhout, Scott Stevens, Lucas Donald, 7:46. Tyler Duncan, S.H. Kim, 7:51. Justin Sue, Robbie Shelton, 7:57. Harry Hall, Jonathan Vegas, CAU, 8:02. Eric Cole, Sam Ryder, 8:08. Webb Simpson, Davis Riley, Nate Hardy, 8:13. Sam Burns, Sanjay M. Justin Thomas, 8:19. Daniel Berger, Stuart Sink, Francesco Molinardi, 8:24. Seb Straka, Tony Finau, Cam Young, 8:30. J.J. Spawn, Seamus Power, Scott Stallings, 8:35. Adam Schenk, Gary Woodland, Brendan Todd, 8:41. Vegas, Patrick Rogers, and Adam Svensson, 8:46. Cam Chick, Nicholas Ecavria, Mackenzie Hughes, 8:52. Callum Tarrant, Joseph Brummett, Michael Kim, 8:57. Davis Thompson, Zach Blair, Keith Mitchell, 9:03. Kevin Tway, Alex Badley, Hayden Buckley, 9:08. Alex Smalley, Matthias Schmidt, Ben Coles, 9:14. Vincent Willey, Ben Martin, Roger Sloan, 9:19. Roger Campos, 9:25. Chris Goddard, 9:30. John Kim and Victor Perez, 9:36. Pearson Cootie, Jimmy Stranger, 9:41. Adrian Dumont, the Chazert, nobody of note at 9:47 or 9:52. Afternoon session, 12:45. Tyson Alexander, Jason Hadley, 12:50. Thomas Dietrich, Aaron Ray, Ryan Fox, 12:56. Justin Larrapy, Hassler, Austin Cook, 101. Joel Dahman, Grayson Sieg, Taylor Pentrith, 107. Richie Rensky, Kevin Strowman, and Ichan Yuan, 112. Peter Malnati, Doug In, Minwoo Lee, 119. Matt Wallace, Kevin Kisner, Chesner V, 123. Xander Schauffele, Brian Harmon, and Taylor Moore, 129. Lucas Hodges, Chad Ramey, Robert Brem, 134. Nate Taylor, Jordan Spieth, Keegan Bradley, 140. Kyung Lee, Lucas Clover, Aaron Weiss, 145. Brett Horschel, Bryce Garnett, Ashkay Bahita, 151. Adam Putnam, Matt Kuchar, Brent Snecker, 156. JB Holmes, Zach Johnson, Adam Hadwin, 202. Andrew Novak, Taylor Montgomery, Charlie Hoffman, 207. Davis Lipsky, Mavic Daly, Carson Young, 213. Ryan Palmer, Ryan Moore, Sammy Valimaki, 218. Troy Merritt, Dylan Wu, Ben Taylor, 224. David Skins, 229. Eric Barnes, 235. Robert McIntyre, Kevin Roy, 240. Alexander Zork, 246. Patrick Fishburne, Ben Silverman, 251. Harrison Endicott, 257. Parker Cootie and Paul Barjan, 302. Kevin Doherty, and that's really it among notables. What's concerning is that I did not see the person who I wanted to pick. Which is unfortunate. Okay, never mind. I see him. This individual won 2 of the last 3. He finished very well last year. I can't wait to see his number. And I'm going to take this individual at whatever number I can get him. His name is Sam Burns. And his number to win the event, I can't even find him. This is crazy. Oh, he's 12-1. That's just based on the past. I don't care. I'm doing a 20th of a unit on it, not a lot. But it's the best bet. It's 12-1. So, there you go. Okay. MLB third base rankings. I meant to do this on yesterday's show, but we'll do third base and shortstop on today's show. Tomorrow's show, we'll do right field and left field, center field Friday, starting pitchers on Monday, relievers Tuesday, and the top 100 on Wednesday. So without further ado, my third base rankings for 2024. 30, Joey Ortiz, Brewers. 29, Michael Garcia, Royals. 28, Josh Rojas, Mariners. 27, Brett Beatty, Mets. 26, Nick Senzel, Nationals. 25, Yohan Moncada, White Sox. 24, Ramon Urias, Orioles. 23, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, Blue Jays. 22, Anthony Rendon, Angels. 21, J.D. Davis, A's. 20, Christopher Morel, Cubs. 19, Gio Urshela, Tigers. 18, Ryan McMahon, Rockies. 17, Eugenio Suarez, D-backs. 16, DJ LeMayo, Yankees. 15, Jeimer Candelario, Reds. 14, Alec Boehm, Phillies. 13, Matt Chapman, Giants. 12, Jake Berger, Marlins. 11, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Pirates. 10, Isaac Paredes, Rays. 9, Max Muncy, Dodgers. 8, Josh Jung, Rangers. 7, Royce Lewis, Twins. 6, Alex Bregman, Astros. 5, Manny Machado, Padres. 4, Nolan Arenado, Cardinals. 3, Austin Riley, Braves. 2, Rafael Devers, Red Sox. And 1, Jose Ramirez, Guardians. Third base is loaded. Absolutely loaded. I think you could put any of the top 5 in order from 5-1 in any order. And you could argue any of those 5. Alex Bregman, I feel like, hasn't been healthy, so he's out of the top 5 for me. Royce Lewis is up and coming, so is Josh Jung. Max Muncy produces. Isaac Paredes sneaks into the top 10. Brian Hayes, I thought about putting at the 10th spot, but he hasn't played much, and Paredes is really good. Jake Berger's a good homer hitter. Matt Chapman just signed as a free agent the other day. Literally. But yeah, third base is really deep. Even guys into the late teens are not bad players. So, that's third base. And now shortstop. We'll go over the shortstop rankings. 30, Brian Rocchio, Guardians. 29, Jose Caballero, Rays. 28, Nick Gallant, A's. 27, Mason Wynn, Cardinals. 26, Marco Luciano, Giants. 25, Ezequiel Tovar, Rockies. 24, Paul DeJong, White Sox. 23, Zach Neto, Angels. 22, Geraldo Perdomo, Diamondbacks. 21, Ha-Seong Kim, Padres. 20, Anthony Volpe, Yankees. 19, O'Neal Cruz, Pirates. 18, Ellie De La Cruz, Reds. 17, C.J. Abrams, Nationals. 16, Orlando Arcia, Braves. 15, J.P. Crawford, Mariners. 14, Trevor Story, Red Sox. 13, Javier Baez, Tigers. 12, Willie Adames, Brewers. 11, Tim Anderson, Marlins. 10, Gunnar Henderson, Orioles. 9, Jeremy Pena, Astros. 8, Dansby Swanson, Cubs. 7, Carlos Correa, Twins. 6, Bo Bichette, Blue Jays. 5, Trey Turner, Phillies. 4, Francisco Lindor, Mets. 3, Bobby Witt Jr., Royals. 2, Corey Seager, Rangers. And number 1, Mookie Betts, Dodgers. So, apologies to Corey Seager for Mookie Betts becoming a shortstop. Or else Corey Seager would have been number 1 on the list. But yeah, Mookie Betts' position move gets him number 1 on a list. Bobby Witt Jr. deserves to be in the top 3. He is a special young player, and his stats got overlooked this past year because of how bad the Royals are. He's the Royals' only hope. He's a franchise player. Francisco Lindor's not worth his contract. You could argue the same for Trey Turner. Bo Bichette's underrated. Carlos Correa, you could argue, is more like Lindor and Trey Turner. Not worth the contract. Same with Swanson even. Although he made the All-Star team this past year. Jeremy Pena, some may say that's too high, and people are saying, oh, Madison, you're just rating him that high because of his postseason run 2 years ago. Yeah, he hit a sophomore slump, but I like him. He's good. And the other young shortstop I have high is Gunnar Henderson, who is a reigning AL Rookie of the Year. Man, I have a couple of veterans in there who, you could argue the young guys between Abrams, Del Cruz, O'Neal Cruz, and Anthony Volpe should be higher than the veteran group. But I think some of those young guys are unproven, or even guys like Perdomo and Nito. Shortstop is very mixed, but I bunched certain groups of players together in these rankings, unlike I did with third base. So there you have it for the shortstop ranking. We're going to talk Matt Singer really quick. New episode coming up on Fox tonight. We got to introduce new characters. Group C begins tonight, so we're just going to talk about performances and guesses. Gumball went first, performed If I Only Had a Heart, and it went into Heartbreak Song by Kelly Clarkson. My first impression guess was Lance Bass. Rita Ora said Chase Crawford. Robin said Kevin Jonas. Ken said Jamie Dornan. Miss Cleopatra performed Stormy Weather by Etta James. My first guess was Diana Ross, but my current guess is Whoopi Goldberg. Ken said Taraji P. Henson. Jenny said Cheryl E. Ralph. Robin said Loretta Devine. Afghan Hound performed The Lion Sleeps Tonight by The Tokens. Rita said Sistine Stallone. Ken said Olivia Jade. Jenny said Brooke Hogan. My first impression guess was Ashley Olsen. And then Beats went and performed Home by Michael Bublé. Obviously, this is a double. And my first guess, the dynamic duo of Steve Martin and Martin Short. Rita said Will Arnett and Jason Bateman. Ken said Casey and JoJo. And Robin is on my side and said Steve Martin and Martin Short. SmackDown was Afghan Hound against Gumball. The song was Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz. Afghan Hound went first, Gumball went second. Afghan Hound went home. Final guesses. I said Ashley Olsen. Robin said Bethany Frankel. Jenny said Brooke Hogan. Ken said Olivia Jade. Rita said Sistine Stallone. And it was Savannah Chrisley. Savannah Chrisley, interesting get for the show. She is a reality star. Chrisley knows best. And the funny thing is that Jenny said that was gonna be her guess, but she decided to go with Brooke Hogan instead. So Group C is tonight. Looking forward to see who is a part of that. And Survivor. Episode from last week was very interesting. We really don't have to recap the episode. We did that last week. We'll just talk about the challenges and who went home. So the reward immunity was that the players raced out into the water and swam through a series of obstacles, a net crawl and a barrel roll and crate staircase before moving back to the beach where they had to dig for a sack of bean bags. And the first two tribes to toss all their bean bags onto a spiral platform won immunity. And the building kit and tart. And the large one for first and the small one for second, while the losing tribe had the forfeit. The winner was the Nabi tribe, who came from behind to win that, and then Sika came in second, and then Yanu loses yet again. But what was really sad was that Rondon of the so that's Nami. He showed up at the Yami camp. Rondon, medics had to check him out, and they were concerned with his condition. And he was medically removed from the game, and as a result, Yanu didn't have to send anybody home. So that was sad to see Rondon get medically evacuated. Let's hope for a better episode ending, at least this week. And should be fun. Should be really, really fun. And imagine if Yanu goes again for 4 in a row. Or 4 losses in a row. Not really 4 travels in a row, but 4 losses in a row. That'd be something. All right, news and notes. And by the way, my Survivor superlatives, you could hear them on the Thursday show. From last week. So small news and notes. Matt Rempe was a healthy scratch against the Winnipeg Jets for the Rangers last night after serving a 4-game suspension. You could argue that was a mistake. They lost the game. Not that he would have scored a goal or anything, but maybe that game would have had a little bit more of a physicality to it. The ACC reacts to a Clemson lawsuit as conference says members voluntarily agreed to grant of rights through 2036. Big signing for the New York Football Jets. They bring in Mike Williams, 1 year, $15 million. That's a nice 1-year contract for him. Number 2 wideout for Aaron Rodgers. Makes that offense better with him and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Rodgers back. So that should be a more competent offense. Tre'Davious White had visits with the Giants and the Titans. So 2 teams that aren't very good are visiting with Trey White. I mean, where's Washington on that? Shouldn't they be in that conversation too with Trey White? Gabe Vincent is nearing return as he intends to play again this season after playing only 5 games. Well, that would be nice for the Lakers. They signed him the big money for a role guy who was a big part of the Heat's final run. Really bad news for the Kansas Jayhawks. Kevin McCullough shut down from March Madness with a knee injury. Absolutely brutal. Obviously, it is a huge blow for the Jayhawks as now their game for tomorrow, I have them only projected by 5. I'm telling you what, if Hunter Dickinson's out too, I'm picking Sanford. So, just throwing that out there. So I have to make a change if Hunter Dickinson doesn't play. I'm still sticking with Kansas for now, but that's because Dickinson's playing. If Dickinson doesn't play, then that can absolutely change. And then there was a brawl in the Leafs-Flyers game as Reeves and Delores fought it out. They pretty much put up a show in that game. So that was fun to watch for hockey fans. All right, so there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. One really jumped out at me in the NIT for the second consecutive day. It's a team that's an underdog that shouldn't be significant as an underdog. There's 2 that stand out, but I'm only picking one. And the NIT underdog that I'm going to pick to cover the point spread. They'll win outright too, but just to be safe, we're just going to pick the spread. And that's Appalachian State. They're getting 7.5 at Wake. I don't think Wake's going to try. I think App State is a good basketball team, and they should not be giving that many points. on the road. So I'm actually going to lay a 20th of a unit on App State plus 7.5 against Wake Forest for my best bet of the day. That's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at that to everything for tomorrow, including all the fun first round games in the NCAA tournament. So we're looking forward to that. So I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.